So, forgive me, I have a cold. I'm going to sound funny. That's okay. And I'm running short on time. So, we're going to try to do this quickly today. But this Charlie Kirk thing, um, what do I think? Let's start at the beginning. I am neither. Everybody's going to, this is the nature of things right now is people are going to jump on this video either as, oh, look, a MAGA or, oh, look, a commie, right? And I'm here to tell you, I did not vote for either party in the last election. Why? Not because I'm weak or milk toast or some kind of artificial centrist or whatever. It's because they're both liars. They're all liars, right? I mean, on one side uh, we've got like looting is good. These protests are peaceful, um, and there's no such thing as sex. And on the other side, we've got like, hey, these tariffs are going to bring manufacturing back to America, right? And all this kind of similar nonsense, right? That the job numbers are great and prices are coming down. I mean, this is all post-election, right? Like, but there was just as much pre, like these guys, both sides are full of it. They're full of it. I have no interest in electing liars, right? Also, they're 6 million years old. There's no reason for either Biden or Trump to have inspired this much loyalty. They're basically incompetent. They're past it, and they're liars, and they're ancient, right? Why are people supporting either of these people? I'm not going to do it, and I did not do it. So if you think I'm one side or the other, I am a registered independent. I do not like either party. I think they're all full of it. I also am mad at the American public. Whose fault is all this? The American public. That's whose fault it is. And so, why did we get here? How do we get to a place where somebody like Charlie Kirk gets shot? And I'm here to tell you it's very simple. It's activism. I've been for 10 years, maybe 15, um, a significant critic of and opponent of activism from either side. And this is the kind of thing that makes people dislike me. It gets people riled up because obviously what we're teaching like kindergartners in school these days is that it's your job to go out and save the world. You're the great white hope of humanity and of America, and you got to go out there and save us, kindergartner. So we're going to teach you how to hold a sign, and we're going to teach you how to yell a slogan, and we're going to, your job is to go out there and be out there and change hearts and minds. And this is nonsense, right? Why is this nonsense? Well, it doesn't work, right? First of all, let's just look at it. It doesn't work, right? These people disagree with you. They disagree with, this is the part nobody wants to accept. They disagree with you, right? Back in the day, originally, there's and still today, right? There are these people who are like, they're kind of like they go with the presumption that activism is good, right? They're not like hardcore career activists. They're kind of, well, but it's, activism is good, and you say, well, why is it good? And they go, well, build awareness and win hearts and minds. This kind of squishy stuff. This is not a thing. This comes from 40 years ago, right? Awareness is done. It's so hilarious to hear people say, oh, we got to build awareness. That is from a time before the internet. That is from a time when people might not have known about your issue, right? Oh, I didn't know autism existed. Oh, I didn't know animal rights was a thing. This is not like I grew up in those times, right? Like 1978, sure. People didn't know that animal rights was a thing, and maybe it's the first time they heard of it, right? Not that I'm an animal rights person, because I'm not. I'm a predator. But they. By the way, when I say that, I mean I like to eat meat. That's all. But the thing is, like, nobody needs awareness anymore. Everybody knows what the issues are, right? Everybody knows. Everybody, whether it's like anti-commie awareness or pro-trans awareness, like nobody needs awareness building about this because we have the internet and we have pervasive social media where all of this stuff is argued about all the time. Every single hot button issue, everybody knows about it, right? And people say, "Oh, it's only the very online people." No, no, no. It's only the very online people actually give a damn. But everybody knows, and they know it's a battlefield, and they know like this is not a shock to people, right? Building awareness is not a thing, right? Everybody knows. They whatever your issue is, they already know. This is 2025. They've seen it in their feed over and over again already, right? And so what does it become? Well, it becomes basically people using coercion to try to manipulate other people's behavior in a game of tit for tat, right? So really what activism is today is you disagree with me and I couldn't get what I want by voting. So I'm going to apply pressure to try and get you to change your behavior. People say they're trying to change minds. They know very well they're not changing minds. Everybody knows they're not changing minds. This is a lie. People tell themselves and they tell other people, but especially they tell themselves, right, that they're trying to change people's minds. They're not. They're trying to change other people's behavior. They are trying to bring about the world that they could not bring about by voting and instead bring it about by coercion. So what do? They destroy property. They block traffic. They get in people's faces and try to intimidate them, right? They try to get them fired from their jobs. They try to get their children to apply pressure to them, right? They pull on the heartstrings. Activism today is coercion. Both sides do it. What both sides are engaged in is a game of escalation in which I did not change you yet. So I'm going to apply more pressure. More pressure. I'm going to come to your workplace. I'm going to block your road at home. I'm going to destroy a statue that matters to your community or a work of art that matters to humanity. I'm going to set a building on fire. I'm going to try to get you fired. I'm going to try to get a local business closed down that you frequent. And both sides do it, right? Both sides are trying to apply force, coercion to the other side when they couldn't get what they want by voting. Activism is low-key war. Period. That's what it is, right? The age of building awareness. Don't bat your eyes and tell me you're trying to build awareness, blah blah blah. You're not. You're not. You're trying to get away with something. You're trying to get away with waging light war. Hopefully they won't shoot back, but I'm going to take a step further, right? And these people disagree with each other. They disagree with you. You disagree with them. Period. And this is people can't accept it, but that's what it is. It's a disagreement. And you getting them fired, you keying their car, you burning down the business they love, or vice versa, does not change hearts and minds. And what we're finding more and more is, people are hopefully coming to realize it also doesn't change behavior, right? People were hoping they could coerce people, and they've been thinking this for a decade. On both sides, they've been hoping they could coerce people by making them. They say this explicitly. Listen to everybody out there, the pundits, the activists, everybody who's talking about the issues. They're hoping they can apply pressure, make people uncomfortable. You hear that all the but protest isn't supposed to be comfortable. They're hoping by making people uncomfortable, which is another way of saying applying coercion, they can force people to do what they want. But what's actually happening? Are people doing what they want? No. What it does is it gives the other side license to do the same thing back. You're going to do this, I'm going to do this too. And since we still didn't change each other's behavior, I'm going to escalate. I'm going to go a step further, right? And as this happens, both sides get more and more angry because what do people hate most from strangers? They hate unexpected applications of force, right? It's scary, it's stressful, it's infuriating, right? This is people making themselves enemies of the other side. You're not changed. They disagree with you. You disagree with them. This will not change. The only question is, what are we going to do about it, right? And where it's been is what we're going to do about it is we're going to escalate. We're going to keep turning the dial up, until it's like, I'll be damned if I'm going to let them not do what I tell them to do. So if they won't do it yet, what's the next step I can take to escalate a little bit farther, right? And always everybody's trying to parse this. How far can I go without going to jail, without getting shot? Like, let's be honest about where the activists are. They're trying to apply as much coercion as possible, knowing full well the other side really, really, really doesn't appreciate it. As much coercion as possible without actually harming themselves, right? And they naively think somehow they can manage to do this without us descending into shooting. Well, that's where we are. We descended into shooting. right? Is either side apologetic about it? No. What did they do? They're going to take it a step further, right? And once again, it's going to take a bunch. My sad belief is that it's going to take touching the hot stove a lot of times, right? It's going to take until that hand is pretty mangled from touching the hot stove before people finally give up, because it's like a temptation, right? And we're all addicted to this because it's been part of the culture for so long. And so many people went to school and were raised on this. It's infuriating to me that schools do this, right? That your job, the world will collapse. It will not be okay unless you go and force other people to do what you want. Your job is to save the world through activism. What does that translate to? Is what kids are taught. It is your job to go out there and force other people to do what you want. And if you don't force other people to do what you want, the world will end and you will suffer. This is what kids are being taught. It's time for activism to end. We don't need it. Awareness building is not a thing. We have social media, we have X and TikTok and Facebook, and everybody's got their algorithm, right? They know what the other side thinks, and they purposefully watch everything against it because they disagree, right? So there's no need for this, right? Activism should be done. Activism at this point is low-key civil war. What do we do instead? Well, we have two choices, right? We can either start shooting, which is where we're going to be real soon, right? This is where people are heading. This is activism. It's just we're just not in the activist stage or in the gun stage, in the shooting stage of activism yet. But this is what activism is, right? Charlie Kirk's murder was activism. Period. The riots of 2020 were activism. Period. Right? Trump's tariffs are activism. Believe it or not, he's trying to do the same thing, right? Or and all this, everybody's like, oh, he's breaking the rule of law. Well, why is he doing it? Because the whole culture is force everybody along. Don't respect the system, right? That's the other dimension of activism. Do we care what the law is? No, we don't. Do we care what the public wants? No, we don't. We're going to do what we believe is right. Well, Trump's just doing it too. The entire Republican Party is doing it too, and the Democrats were doing it when they were in power, right? This is madness, right? If you don't want to be in a shooting civil war, we have a system designed to prevent shooting civil war. That's the whole point. That's the whole purpose of democratic systems, is to sublimate conflict and create stable legitimacy by renewing that legitimacy on a regular basis every time people vote. But for that to happen, people have to honor what was voted for, and you have to keep having elections. If people don't follow the law anyway, and everybody's taught in school, the most important thing you can do for the world, and in fact, your mission as you grow up and when you become an adult, your mission is to go out and break the law in the interest of goodness, to oppress other people and coerce other people in the interest of goodness, following your own moral compass, right? It's amazing to me that people don't see what kind of a world this leads to. And it's also amazing to me that over and over again, and this is just the flaws in human nature, we build democratic systems because people are tired of losing their family members and blowing up their cities, wherever this is on the planet. And within a generation or two, it falls apart, right? Why do we come up with democratic systems? Why do we bother? Because war sucks. Because having your family members gunned down by people sucks, even if they're your enemies, right? Even if you know what's right and it was all in the name of righteousness, which, I mean, everybody's got their own righteousness. I don't know what else I can say other than they disagree with you. To both sides, they disagree with you. You think you're the good guys, they think they're the good guys. You think by any means necessary, I have to do what it takes to stop the bad guys. Well, they think the same thing. And if we're not all going to shake hands and agree to do it by voting, then we're going to shoot each other. And we shouldn't do that because that's dumb. It's dumb. All right, that's all I got.